Hello and welcome to another how-to video from Bathroom Machineries. Today we're working on a pre-World War II Crane Nova integral spout sink. These are really cool sinks. They've actually got the spout inside the basin and the water comes out underneath here. Very period, something you would commonly see in a house built in the late 20s or up to World War II. The issue with these is the connections behind the sink. I'm going to flip this one around so we can take a look at it. As you can see, there's a hard metal connection between the actual valve and the ceramic of the sink itself. After 70 years or so, these seals goes bad and you've got water spraying underneath your sink. Today we're going to show you how to replace this part. First off, we got to take the trim off the top of the sink. Take the handle off first. Usually there's a little slot set screw on the side and it'll lift straight off. Secondly, you have to take the escutcheon off. These usually will just unscrew. Occasionally you have to use what's known as a strap wrench in order to get them off. If you happen to break either one of the handles or the escutcheons, here at Bathroom Machineries we have reproductions that will replace either one. Take a look at our Crane webpage in order to get those part numbers, or give us a call at 1-800-255-4426. Next, we got to get this lock nut loose. Try putting it in the right spot. This is actually loosening up the entire valve body, and it's not unusual for these to get a little sticky. After all, they've been on this sink 75 to 80 years. Okay, lock nuts off. Again, if this part fails, or you have to cut it, or it's missing entirely, we do have replacements. Next, it's time to flip that sink over. Obviously it's best to do this on a workbench. It's kind of tough to do it when the sink's still mounted on the pedestal or on the wall. So you may want to consider moving it over to a workbench. As you can see, this is nice and floppy loose now. You want to back the lock nut off to get yourself as much wiggle room as you possibly can. Sometimes these will pull straight out. This one's not cooperating with us, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take this slip joint nut loose. Okay, using your crescent wrench, pry this loose. If it's really tight, we've loosened this one up just a little bit to kind of expedite things. You may have to put that lock nut back on the top of the fixture in order to get this loose. Once this comes out, you should, theoretically, be able to wig the entire fixture out. Okay, we're back. This particular one, some homeowner probably had fought with it long enough because there's lots of Teflon tape and epoxy and everything else crammed around it. It's getting a little stubborn, but eventually it does wiggle out. Yes, you're going to get dirty on this one. Okay. This one, it's time to replace. We have actually recreated this integral spout connector. This is our 15-CRCA, and it will go right back in that hole. You tighten down this lock nut that compresses this rubber and seals up inside here. If your old one has come out and it's pretty well intact and all you really needed is replace the rubber, we actually have the rubber separately. It's this right here, and this is our 15C seal. It's for crane seal. Now that you've got your stem out, this is really the time to consider rebuilding this and making sure everything's just perfect. Two different stems that can be found in this particular valve body. There's the 86101HC, which will have a 12-point spline up top here, or in this case, this is our 86121HC stem. Both of these stems use the 23X15 seat down inside here. Now's the time to replace this because you've got everything out. So, that being seen, assembly is pretty much the same thing. Goes right back together just the way you saw. You want to make sure that you get any rubber chunks out of this hole, because this has to be nice and clean in order to get the rubber seal to seal up. Again, assembly is pretty much the reverse. We're going to take a few minutes and rebuild this one, and we'll be back. Thanks for watching this video.